Hey,
Hello.
we're back. Another one. Welcome back to another episode of Carvers and Creators, a weekly demonstration and discussion with sculptors, carvers, and multi-talented artists from around the world. You're a fan of the show and you like what we do, give us a like and a follow on the platform you're watching us from. And let us know in the comments where you're watching us from. It's good to be back. And I'm happy. I want to introduce the artist. I'm happy.
Oh, why not? Let's do it.
Shall we?
We're here as well.
Why don't we start with the big fella below me running the show tonight? He's an amazing artist and sculptor from Tucson, Arizona. It's my good buddy,
Look at that guy.
Matt Harper.
Yay.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi,
to be
Matt.
back.
Good to see you, Matt.
Joey,
Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
My name's Paul Dever. I'm an artist and sculptor from Boston, Massachusetts. And our guest tonight is an artist and sculptor who has taken pumpkin carving to the next level with his highly realistic portraits, all the way from Portland, Oregon. That is hard to say by accent.
Good job. Oregon.
It's our good friend, the amazing Joey Edwards. Welcome back.
Hey, what's going on?
Joey.
Thanks for having
Good
me
to
back.
see you, brother.
Hello. And is that
How
a
are you?
dog?
So good to have you back.
Oh, the dog's going to run in and out of my room about 30
Okay,
times.
good. I keep seeing a tail. Hi, Pupper.
All part
Joey,
of it.
it's good to have you back. And
Hey,
it's
thanks
been
for
a
having
while
me.
since we had you back. I don't know why it's been. You know what? We see you every year at Monster Palooza, which is
That's
nice.
true.
I actually get to catch you in
It's great.
person. So it's nice to have you back on the show.
Yeah, and it does feel like after we get to see you, it's like, oh, we saw Joey. Oh, wait, he was on the show. I'm glad to actually have you here talking to us again because we feel like we're too familiar with you at this point.
I mean, that's fine with me. It's nice to see you guys every year.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good time. Well, now that you're on the show, I got to run you back through the. Did we have the wheel when you came on last time?
Absolutely. I think we have.
Yeah. The wheel's like old hat now.
That's been a staple from like the first season, right?
Wheel.
Oh,
It's like back before, like color the TVs, everything was black and white back then.
Yeah.
But so, like we usually do on the show, for anybody watching and you don't know what the rules or the function of the program is,
Protocol.
like to sculpt on stuff that rots pretty much. So what we do is we go back and we check out what we did the week before, the challenge that the wheel gave us. And it was a
Sleepy Witch.
Sleepy Witch.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's my submission. Yeah, she has that forlorn, the bags under the eyes, like, oh God. Like she's maybe somebody woke her up, kind of look.
Great lighting too. Did you glue the nose on?
I did. You can see it a little better, I think, in the next picture. You can probably see it a little bit better, but
yeah, I think it deserves a couple.
Yeah, there you go.
I like how you see
kind of like
too.
The crease a little bit there.
That's really good.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Look
Yeah.
to her.
Nice, I like.
She has that haggard look. It's funny because we've done a bunch of witches, right, Paul? I mean, and this one with the just happened to get. I kind of got the lighting just right.
I love the lighting.
Holding up that one, but then if you look at her from different angles, and I was more or less okay with it, not ecstatic. But then I looked at yours, and I'm like, you damn bastard. And I look at this profile, and we're gonna talk about this because
Look at that nose. Look at that.
Yeah. And what you did by tucking up the cheeks and getting that chin up the way you did and that hooked nose.
I had to keep taking the nose off because I couldn't get up under there.
I like the little rotten.
I didn't glue it on until like the last second. I just kept taking it off.
Matt, I think I've seen. I haven't seen this one yet. That's great.
Oh,
yeah, but that profile, and that's something, Joey, as you know, whenever you're trying to, the real true mark of a good sculpt is if you can look at it from the side and be like, holy shit. And this has that. I mean, it has every bit of that amazing profile. I'm glad you've included this one. This is an epic shot. But just even straight on, I'm like, anyway, I like mine, but love yours. This is badass, Paul.
Thanks, buddy. Well, we're off to a good start. It was our first. Well, you've had pumpkins all year round for some strange reason. I don't know how the hell you keep them, but it was like our first real pumpkin on. Both of us had pumpkins to carve for the first time.
Yeah,
and to do it with John,
like the hair.
With John Neal on the show was pretty cool too. One of the guys that made it popular to carve in the style. So
yeah, Mr. Pumpkin himself. Yeah, like one of the OGs. That's for sure. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, the next one could be a complete disaster. Who knows?
Well,
that's fine.
Right in the middle of it, I'm like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Most of the time they are kind of disastrous, but the funny thing is, like, you and I always commiserate. Like, I'll like one you do, you like one I do, whatever. We'll go back and forth, but I usually hate most of mine anyway. So I'm glad they recap the ones that aren't my
We're
favorite.
not supposed to like our own pumpkins.
Well,
I
the
know.
cheeks on yours matter. Awesome. They're like so fleshy. Like you can just reach out and pinch
Yeah.
them. Like you did a great job on that.
Oh, thank you.
And like you
You
just keep
talking
getting
about
better with every
Can't
color.
take a compliment.
Yeah.
Here, come here.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I come see you once a year, just to get my
Oh,
hands
that's
on
right.
You got to give him an attaboy, right?
Get that grandma's pin.
Nice.
I
Well,
love it.
On that note, we should probably reintroduce you to the third member of Carvers and Creators. It's the Sinner Spinner, the Hella Wheel. And I will cue it up right now for y'all, and we'll give it a go.
Oh, look at that. There it is.
The old wheel, huh? So we're gonna spin it twice. I know, Joey, you know, but we'll, for the people watching at home,
Oh, wow.
we're gonna spin it once. That's
By
gonna
the
be
way,
our
Paul,
character.
look at Joey's screen real quick.
Have you guys started taking bets on this?
I
I
thought he
feel
was-
like
I
you
thought
make,
he was smoking
make a
cigar.
lot of illegal gambling money by like taking bets.
Are you
you wanna
smoking
take
out
that?
there, Joey, or is that? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it just happens.
We could probably get it on DraftKings if we really wanted to. We could
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
monetize. That's how you monetize right there.
Mhm.
All right. But until we monetize, we got to do it
Yeah.
the old-fashioned way for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
First spin will be our character. Second spin will be the emotion or attribute we have to apply to the first spin. So our choices tonight. If it lands on which, I'm respinning. Which, old age, guest choice, vampire, troll, werewolf, ghoul, Frank, zombie, or fantasy character. Second spin will be angry, smug, crazy. Guest choice once again, so have one ready. Robust, sour, sleepy, chipper, scared, or surprised.
Sour. Ooh.
I like sour.
Me too. That could be a great one. But it won't land on it.
It's never going to land on it.
Never. Not in a million years.
It's going on right.
It's a ghoul.
It's a ghoul.
It's a ghoul.
Let's go,
Ooh, I like
ghoul.
a ghoul. Okay.
Come on, sour ghoul.
Sour
Sour ghoul.
Angry ghoul.
Angry ghoul.
Angry. Okay. I'm going to commit that to chat.
Angry ghoul.
Wow.
Angry ghouls.
Do you
That's a
write that?
song.
That's amazing.
I mean, it
Big-
feels natural.
Big-ish pumpkin. Heavy
All right.
anyway. Got a good stem on it.
Okay. Tonight's carve is an angry ghoul.
And a ghoul is kind of like a zombie, right?
Hey, ghouls are cool.
Hey, man.
They're the cool.
I
the
drool
ghouls.
over ghoul. The gabagool.
Gabagool.
Gabagool. Gabagool.
They never. I wish the stem would be just how you want it on the same plane. You never get it perfect.
Look at this.
Gobbledygook. Okay.
Oh, Joe's got a ghoulish looking pumpkin as it is.
I brought
Wow.
options. I don't know.
So
So now-
that's one of those kind of naughty looking ones. Like that. Those are hard to knock into though, unless it's really fresh.
Very naughty. Well, I saw that video this morning of Ray busting it out with a hammer, so I was like,
The
"Eh,
hammer, yeah.
give it a shot."
Okay.
You gonna do it with a hammer?
I don't know. Well, I could get a hammer, but
Wow.
I can barely carve in 3D as it is. So I'm more to the elaborate foam kind. But I think
But
that's
you
what
are
we're
going to try and sculpt in 3D for us, huh?
Yeah,
Join
I am.
it.
Why not? Let's do it. Oh, I gotta fix
Share
it.
Joy.
I mean,
Share Joy. I love him. He's the best.
This is why we have you on. This testing new boundaries. It's like stretching
got more lights.
yourself.
Well,
or something like
another reason, besides just being an all-around great guy that we have him
Yeah.
on, is
It's like I gave you a bunch of beer
because
last
how
year, right?
unbelievable his pumpkins were. Like before I knew Joey the person, I knew Joey Edwards, the kid that carved like the most crazy realistic etched into a foam pumpkin that I had ever seen.
Yeah.
I would always say it's got to be photoshopped. It can't.
That's not real.
No
There's
way.
no way
That guy's getting it that realistic. And then I
Well,
met him, and yes, he is that talented. It's very
Yeah,
impressive.
and then you see him
Thank
in
you.
person. Not him in person. That's epic by itself. But then you see the pumpkins in person, and you see them backlit and everything else are inside lit, and you're like, wait a minute. And it is. We're going to show a lot of pictures of them, but one thing also that Joey's remarkable about is his beer selection. In fact, Paul, you and I have been the beneficiary of many a beer.
I still have one. Believe that or not, I forgot. It was hidden behind another one. I found another one.
I drank all the ones he gave me, damn it, already. But
I
we
thought
should probably
I had.
do a little toast.
Look.
Yeah, you've been in my house. So I have an inside fridge at the bar, right? And then I have an outside fridge at the outside, I guess you would call it bar. It was summertime. So I was going to the outside fridge, but I had put Joey's beers on the inside fridge. So I thought I had rifled through them, and then I found them a couple of weeks ago and was like, yes, saved them for the perfect time. But
good. Well, would you like to start then, Paul? I mean,
I'm not drinking one of Joey's tonight.
That's fine. I'm drinking one of mine, so we're good.
I'm actually going to drink. I went back to the well, Matt, where you and I have gone when you've come to visit. I went to Treehouse, and they had King Julius, which is a double IPA. It's delicious. 8.2 by volume from the mighty Treehouse in Massachusetts. Look at the color on that.
Well, look at the cup.
It's
Is that hazy? It's a hazy IPA, huh?
Yeah, that's like a glass. It looks like a glass of orange juice.
It does. It really does. Wow.
It's really good.
And it matches your pumpkin.
It does. What, you think that was an accident? Look at that. It's camouflage.
I don't even see it.
Jinx.
All right, Joey. You always have thick ass beer. You get to go next.
Okay. I am drinking Secret. It's from Wayfinder, a local, really cool Portland brewery here.
You gave us some of those.
You gave us some of
those.
I
got you guys a bunch of Wayfinder stuff. I don't know. I'm like the kind of guy that's a sucker for super gothic labels, and their beer is really good too. So,
I'll back that up. I will second that. It was delicious.
Very tasty.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, I am pedestrian to you fine people. Although you guys might have heard of this one. It's called Dos Equis, or
it's like the 2 X's.
It's not just 1 X, because a lot of people just stop at the 1 and they drink that. But I'm going with the 2 tonight. And I'm going south of the border only because that was what was in my fridge, and I already chugged all the ones that Joey got me. Actually, quite quickly after we were back from Montpellier. So those have been already processed, if you know what I mean.
Well, cheers. Joey, cheers to have you back on. Cheers to everybody at home.
Here's to some fun tonight. Let's carve with abandon.
All right. Yes. What was the flavor of ghoul again? Angry ghoul. Angry ghoul. Okay.
The angriest of types of ghouls there is. And so we touched on it for a split second, but we certainly should be showing a lot of your stuff. And what's hard to really get your mind around is that this is an etched relief. And I think, Joey, we'd love to kind of understand how you do some of this stuff, but I guess maybe we won't get into all of your trade secrets, but like let's talk about like the design art from a design perspective. And we're going to go through a bunch of them, but you get these suggested to you, or is it something out of your mind typically?
Well, so this one in particular is just that's from the show Dragula. I don't know if you've seen that. I love it. It's just a really, really great spooky drag show competition put on by the Belay brothers. But I made that pumpkin. It's based off of their intro sequence. They have one of them. They say drag, filth, horror, glamour, and like that's the I think that's the glamour lips. As they zoom in on it. And so I grabbed a couple of stills, found the one I liked the most, and then I made the pumpkin design on it, and then I got to give it to them when I went to Midsummer Scream.
Oh no way!
Yeah, yep.
So you gave it away.
I was so awkward. I was so nervous. Swan just put her hand on me. She's like, "It's okay.
You're gonna be all right."
I got a little stage fright.
But did they like it?
Yeah, I think so. It was a kind of a quick experience. I hope they like it. They said they'd put it in their pumpkin patch. So That's
They had a
the
pumpkin patch?
best. That's the best honor I could ask for.
Yeah,
Let's see, what's the pacing going on here?
yeah. I'm struggling because I'm starting to carve and I use this peeler and it just pulls everything around on the table. So I had to give it a hug, and I'm finding that this thing's cool. It's yellow pumpkin, but it's like orange in the middle. Go figure.
Is it orange in the middle? Because I was kind of be worried for you there, because a lot of those, it reminds me of a spaghetti squash, how they're just almost translucent inside.
Either like white or something in the middle. Yeah.
Very,
Very scary.
jawbreaker.
Yeah. Yeah. This is probably one of the best memes of all time, but from
It's a Django.
Django and Chink.
Now that's a real pumpkin, right?
Yeah, that's a real pumpkin.
Yes.
Yeah. Outstanding.
Yeah, these
So-
these naughty boys are tough. This has ripped my little claw right off. I should get a hammer. Hold on, I'm gonna grab a hammer.
Or chisel. Get
Or
a chisel. Like,
sawzall.
honestly, yeah, something like this, like an actual chisel, will crack into it because you need to just break into the skin
There we
like an eggshell, and then the rest of it inside it's great. Yeah, I love this one. So,
Yeah, I'm back.
oh, he's hiding right now. Oh, here he's back. He got a hammer.
Yeah,
Hang on, I
I
want to
did.
watch. I want to watch this happen. This is going to be great. Let's
What
move
could
this.
go wrong?
What
Seriously.
could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Let's do this.
I mean, normally it's like stab at it until it looks right, and now it's just like hit it with a hammer until it gets all over my floor and my mouth. So
I mean, Ray can do it, right? You can do it.
I mean,
anyone
just
could do it.
that'll
Come
be your
on.
only tool. That'll be your only tool tonight. Just the hammer, and that's it. And we got to make a angry ghoul. Angry ghoul.
That's right. Just gotta get through the surface here.
Man,
I've been working on the berm. Oh, the live long ghoul.
You're gonna need stitches if the hammer goes astray.
Right. Well,
Be careful, buddy.
I got a button for that.
yeah, the nice part is it won't make a mess at all doing that. Oh, he already cut himself.
Nice
That's the one.
touch. Nice touch.
Damn it. I knew it. He's just good. He's covered in blood. Well, we'll let him take a minute.
I mean,
In fact,
better him than me, right? Well, I guess I'm covered in pumpkin now, so that's I guess we're even.
hey,
About how noisy it is.
random question for you, Joey. How many real
That's a real
versus
pumpkin.
yeah, real versus pumpkin do you do in a year? Is it like obviously this time of year do you do primarily real pumpkins?
I end up primarily doing the foam pumpkins just because I run out of time to work on the real ones. Because I'm always scrambling in October to have more inventory to bring with me to like the expos and stuff that I do, like oddities and curiosities. And so I'm just like kind of working around the clock trying to get finish up like commissions and like just have like on hand stuff to show at my booth of like what I'm capable of, so that when I go to the shows, I can have pumpkins to sell like while I'm there, but I can also have like examples of what my work could potentially look like, so that people are like, oh yeah, I could see that's cool, but can you carve my parents as Gomez and Morticia? I'm like, okay, sure.
Do people commission you for real pumpkins, or are these just fun projects primarily?
I've in the last 2 years I've started to get more commissions for like businesses and like social media kind of style stuff for
Got
real
it.
pumpkins. But the vast majority of stuff that I do commissions for is like foam pumpkins, and so I can work on those year round.
Right. And they don't
Yeah.
rot that as fast as these do.
Nope,
Okay.
they do not rot, thankfully. But I will
one.
say that the real pumpkins taste a lot better when they get in my mouth. So
Oh yeah.
Probably
Do
better.
you have a respirator?
I use I have a big old air purifier behind me, and then I have a couple masks that I use depending on the bit that I'm using.
Does it kick a lot of dust?
Depends on the bit. So like some bits, like if I'm using like a tiny little diamond bit, like something like this is like a little 0.05 millimeter. This doesn't kick off much of anything. But if I'm using more like stone bits, these are great for like doing final touches and smoothing and removing like your tool marks, things like that.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
kick off a ton of dust, and so it's kind of like just finding a balancing act between going in, etching out, blocking in the whole portrait, and then coming back in and then kind of smoothing things out. Because when you're doing portrait work like that, you can't really undo. There's not a lot of Control Z or like being able to go back and add more darkness. So you can only add more light, really.
You can't undo hammer strikes either, from what I've seen.
I mean, that's fine. Well, I've seen you guys use super glue, so you glued a nose back on.
You glue it all back on. Okay, it's an angry ghoul. Okay, I just have to keep reminding myself. Angry ghoul. Yeah, so I think we found another. Here's another one that's just. I think this is a live pumpkin, a real pumpkin. No,
that's a foam pumpkin. That was a commission I did over the summer. Yeah. That's on a big old Boland model pumpkin. That's like a big 19-inch boy. I love those. Maybe they're great.
That's why I was thinking it was a real pumpkin, because it would look so huge compared to some of those.
Well, that's the great thing about pumpkins is that they're like kind of like premium foam pumpkins, but they come in such huge variety of different shapes and sizes, they all look like they could be real pumpkins. But with every like foam pumpkin I carve on, I paint them ahead of time to kind of make them look more realistic. Like this is one that I'm currently kind of like poking at. So this is not a pumpkin, but it's just like a little Michael's Craft foam pumpkin. But I'll paint them to make them look like more like rotted, and then I just put a little hole in the back there. But that way, like one, I think it looks more interesting in the light, and then when I am like carving into it, when you think about like carving and doing like the etching style of artwork, it's really kind of like a gradation of like doing like 100% light. Like absolute light value would be carving all the way into the pumpkin, but the absolute black value would be the surface of the pumpkin without cutting at all. But pumpkins, when you're carving them, they have that natural glow. And so I can control the opacity of that glow by painting the outside of it. And that way I can like, I don't know, let's see, turn this light off.
Create that opaque effect. We're on the...
Yeah, it just allows me to get like more of like the darker tones here. Where's my light control?
Oh, okay. You know what? I can see that. Oh, wow. Holy crap.
Yeah.
In the dark.
So this is like that's a little one I'm working on right now.
Yeah. So let's see. Can we see before and after, like the light and no light? Like.
Oh yeah, sure. So
it looked pretty amazing. Oh my God, the difference.
Yeah. So with no light at all on these, like I said, it's just kind of like little plasticky foam pumpkin, kind of rotted looking and stuff like that. And it's really just making like all of these hits and values. Let's see if I can
getting closer to the lights.
Yeah, so like I'm just making all of these like little pits and values, and the deeper I go, the brighter it gets. Right. But then when I turn the lights off, then I can get like these full-on like portraits and stuff.
So are you carving some of that in the dark completely?
I go back and forth, like with my whole stream setup here that I work on. Like I have like a stream deck next to me, so I can like switch on lights, so I can see what I'm doing. I can also like look at reference things. Honestly, this is how nerdy it is. Since you're seeing my camera through my OBS setup, like I actually will bring up like this carve reference. So this little box that's appearing here. That is like normally I'll have a picture of what I'm carving like on screen, and so as I'm moving around my mouse and things like that, the viewer will be able to like see like what I'm focusing on for that part of the carve as I'm working when I'm doing my live streaming and stuff. But
yeah, let's talk about your Twitch channel a little bit. I mean, you got a great following on Twitch, and that's not it's normally a video game type platform, right? And
there's so many artists on there. It's a huge art community. Like the art community is like nowhere as big as like the like a gaming community on there, but it's nothing to shake a stick at. Like there's all kinds of artists on there: digital artists, fabric artists, leather artists, painters, illustrators, leather workers, you name it. There's people on there making stuff on Twitch, and it's wonderful. It's a really good environment to make new friends and meet people and do the live streaming and stuff.
I don't need any more friends, but we do need more viewers. In fact, Paul, you and I, we've been on Twitch for a little while, and sometimes we'll get a ton of people watching. It depends on if we have a Joey Edwards or not on.
Well, you Well, you had
not Bush.
you had
or-
CNOT on there, yeah,
Yeah.
CNOT Bush, and he rated you in with like 120 people or something like that. I
Yeah.
remember that.
Crazy. Yeah, it was wild.
That was
It was like,
Chris, yeah,
yeah, it was.
he's great.
He,
Yeah,
I was
I've
still-
caught a couple of his
Ah, my
streams.
eye.
He's not stop, non-stop.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Always.
so nice
always.
too.
Yeah,
When I
always
was
post-
when I was first getting started on Twitch, I was like, I just like study his stream, be like, how are you doing that? And like, I was like, how are you holding the camera there? And I would just send him messages, and he was super nice about it and told me what he was working with. And I tried it out, and I just moved too much. I'm too frantic.
Yeah,
like you must pick yours up a lot and kind of manhandle it too, right?
Oh,
Depending on the size of it, to get a comfortable position.
Yeah, I kind of move around. I'm always kind of working like right in here in like this kind of scenario on a smaller table. But I'm always, I don't know, like I feel like I move around too much. I don't want to give people seasickness. So
well, the one that we're looking at now,
That's nuts.
incredible detail. So I mean,
So
like
good.
inside of the eye socket and the flower petals, like they look absolutely beautiful. Like I'm assuming that from a reference perspective, you've got something, you got flowers, and this is this specific one like an actual picture, or is it?
physical?
Physical.
So that one kind of comes from Twitch too. So there's another like wonderful streamer that I met when I first started streaming on Twitch that goes by Unfocused NIA. She's just a wonderful streamer that does all kinds of content. She's a great musician. She plays games. She builds little miniature houses and stuff like that. But she's always been a really, really huge supporter of my art and like my stream. And so it was last year's Halloween, she hosted a pumpkin carving contest on her stream. And as whoever won the contest, she paid a full commission for me to do a pumpkin for the winner. And
no way.
The winner got a hold of me earlier this year, and like we worked on the idea back and forth. And so the way I did this is they kind of gave me a couple of ideas to work with, and gave me a couple of screenshots of examples of what they were thinking. And so then I just kind of scoured the internet and found a lot of different photo resources, and then made an original composition like in Photoshop, and then turned that into a photo, and then used the photo as the reference to carve that.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Did you get all that, Matt? That was a lot of work.
That sounds like way too much. In fact,
Pretty much all of the carves that I do are all like original, for the most part, like original like works that I take into Photoshop and like gussy up and like try to make not just like a pumpkin, but a pumpkin that someone hasn't exactly seen before. Even if it's like as simple as like, I don't know, like just making like the eyes like look at you, stuff like that, you know?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the composition that sells it.
Yeah, it totally does. And I think that the best examples of stuff I've done, I've had some kind of reference, and the ones that are just off the cuff, they're hit and miss. I'll think I have like when Paul and I we don't have any reference now, right? We're just going off of what we think an angry ghoul is going to look like. But eventually we'll kind of get an idea for like, we'll pull up cool art from folks we've had on the show or friends, and next thing we know, I like the wrinkle in here or the cheek here. So that kind of thing happens. But for you to be able to start with a good reference, I'm sure it helps, especially if it's something you've manipulated in Photoshop. That probably is a lot easier.
I mean, I print them out in black and white, and sometimes I feel like more like a radiologist, because like the art of like dealing with this is just like, it's about depth, right? Like the deeper you're carving into the pumpkin, the more light that you're letting bleed out. Now, like carving on pumpkins, like foam pumpkins and real pumpkins, it's an imperfect medium. It's not, I don't think it's meant to become like this, but it's like the pumpkin itself can be inconsistent. So it's like an inch by inch, whatever mark you make, you need to study that mark and like see the amount of light that's like bleeding out, and then gauging from there, like what to do next. And so like when I basically reproduce my designs in black and white, I have them up on a screen that I can zoom in on, and my ADHD hyperfixates.
Yes.
And I just tried to like gradually match what I'm working on to what I'm looking at, and then try it. And sometimes I'll bring it up on multiple monitors at once because each of the monitors I have around here, for better or worse, is like graded differently, and so they all kind of like show light a little bit differently. But it allows me to like get an idea of like, okay, like make this mark here, I can brighten it up here and go from there.
Okay.
Matt, it's just like what we do.
Yeah, except for the fact that you have references,
Yeah, well, he's
do the same
cheating.
thing.
No big deal.
I'm cheating. Yeah,
He's using a hammer, for Christ's sake.
I'm just, yeah,
That's cheating.
I'm just a big fat
Yeah,
Cheeto.
you don't even have a hammer.
I just love the fact that he's still not through the skin.
I'm trying.
Those
Someday.
I actually I thought about like just bringing like a whiteboard and like doing like a sketch and then trying to draw and then do the foam carving.
Oh, nice.
But you're like, no, but I'm gonna try this for this show. I'm not gonna be terrible at it, but I'm gonna try it.
Well, the
I'm
nice part,
not gonna get on Halloween Wars unless I learn how to do this bullshit.
That's a good point. Oh, and hey, Food Network, we do know you're watching and collecting contestants for the future.
We've
Joey Edwards deserves a shot.
Yeah, this guy would smoke all the competition in any etched anything. I mean, I've seen.
He'd be a great teammate too. You know what I mean?
I would just be silly. That's what I would do. That would be my secret strength. Is just like
just silliness,
distracting people. Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah,
I bring that spooky
drama.
Bullshit aesthetic. So
they want drama. So. Kooky bullshit aesthetic. It's hard to say.
They're like, why are there spiders in my cake? Like,
yeah.
No, I thought that's what we were doing here. I don't know. Was this a dance?
Yeah, I got a couple examples here in the background here while we're talking, but an epic. Every one of these, I mean, just like that, you got a highlight in her hair that is really cool looking. I mean, like, anyway, I'm always enamored. And like, if you look on the left side of her head as you look at it, how you got that smoothness of the light hitting that hair is just also really cool. Anyway, I digress.
Don't digress, Matt.
A little. Oh, I know. I here we go digressing again.
I love this one.
Killer Clown. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's slim.
It's so smooth. Like the transition of light is not something that I can fathom doing.
You gotta try it.
And your lighting is amazing too. The way that you
have
light
an etching challenge.
Yeah, no.
An etching challenge. No.
Escape my lane, Joe.
That's a different show.
Yeah,
I've done etched pumpkins, but not to this degree. I mean, this is fine art. It's literally
that slim took about, I want to say about 9-ish hours. Like, then I think I carved that one all live on Twitch too. Most of these pumpkins I carved on Twitch. It's only recently where I've been like started to like not carve like everything completely live. I've been trying to find what's that called?
Happy medium. Work-life balance. Wait, so wait, when you say you put 9 hours into it, you're not live that whole time?
Well, yeah, I am, but like not all in one strip. What I'll do is I typically stream like in like 3 to 4 hour increments, and because it's foam, it doesn't rot. I can just come back. So,
right.
I mean, there was a time when I was carving a real pumpkin for like Silent Hill F got announced, which is a video game that should be really good. I love the Silent Hill franchise. And they had this I think it wasn't last year, but it was the year before. They had this, Konami had this big kind of announcement show where they're like, hey, we're not abandoning this franchise completely. We're gonna make like 5 games, not just one game, but 5 games. Here's all the games we're working on. And they showed like little sneak previews of the various games. And one of the games they showed was called Silent Hill F, and it was like the game but set in like a traditional kind of Japan vibe, and it just looked really, really beautiful. They replaced all the gore and grime with flowers, and I'm like, that would be a fucking cool pumpkin. And so I started carving it. I was streaming it, and I streamed it, and I fucking ran out of time because I had to leave for the weekend to go to Seattle to vend at Oddities. And so I just like cleaned out the mini fridge, took out all of the shelves, shoved it, wrapped it in wet towels, put it in the fridge, and then like came back to it like the following like Tuesday and finished it. And it worked. It held up pretty well. But I mean, with foam pumpkins, I don't have to worry about that. I can just take my time. But
so
yeah,
that pumpkin, you've posted that pumpkin, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it's on there. It's
Is
on
that the one with the hand?
No, that's the
Of the universe.
on,
There's one with like the moon. I don't know. I have a bunch of pumpkins in there.
oh
Again, it's fine art.
yeah. The Silent Hill one was from about 2 years ago. It's a kind of a larger pumpkin. It's like has a bunch of flowers and like you can't see the eyes. It's just a chin and mouth and some shoulders. But it's on the portfolio site if you have it up. But
I might
that's
have
a
it
little
in there.
Beetlejuice.
In there. I have a ton of your stuff in there.
Yeah, we got a bunch to look at. In fact, you know, I don't want to.
I thought this one was kind of timely though with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I mean that's
Oh, yeah.
everywhere right now, right? Holy crap!
I just did a little Bob too. He came out good.
Yeah. Michael Keaton, does he just like roll in piles of money all day? Is that what he's doing?
At this point, yes, I believe so.
Because I mean, I can't not see his face everywhere lately. It's pretty wild. And so this is kind of in process. I like showing this too. So
Yeah.
you've done the black and white. You've got that on there for reference and kind of to scope it out.
Yep.
Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just kind of carve through the photo. Like someday when I'm an adult, what I'll do is I'll learn how to do this freehand onto the pumpkin. But for now, what works for me is I'll take my design and I'll print it out and I'll tape it to the pumpkin and carve through it. Like there's a lot of different foam carvers out there, and everyone has their own way of doing it. Some people like to use like a tattoo tracing paper to like apply the image to the pumpkin.
Yeah, sure.
Some people like to use like a glue to like completely glue and shellac the paper to it and then wash the pumpkin when it's done. I just like this because as soon as I can get the paper out of there, then I can play. Then once the paper's there for me to help me lock in proportions, and then I can just sit in the dark like a weirdo and like hyperfixate on like minute details.
I actually think it's difficult because the paper wants to just shred.
It does.
Yeah.
It's even harder when I'm carving a real, like when I do this kind of etching stuff on real pumpkins because the pumpkins bleed. Yeah, and so I have to work a lot quicker.
Well, not only that, I mean, you don't just get the proportions right. You get the nuances of the actor's face. You get the nuances of like the expression, but it's a specific person. One thing that I always have trouble with is when say, "Hey, can you do me a Chucky?" I'm like, "Sure, I can do a doll with like stitches or something." But it's not going to be because these are very imperfect. Not that a foam pumpkin isn't perfect, but But it's like it's you're carving it on an odd shape, and it is very difficult to get a perfect likeness. I've seen people do it really well, and I'm not that person. But yeah, what you're really expert at is you glance at it, you're like, that's Michael Keaton, and he looks a little drunk. That was a part of the movie where he. So to get that is amazing to me. Again, like Paul said, fine art.
With that particular Beetlejuice, I didn't even base the design off of Michael Keaton directly. I think I based it off of one of Trick or Treat Studios' masks.
Yeah,
that they released.
Funny you said that. That's what I thought when I started.
Yeah, I think they posted that mask earlier. I was like, that's going to be a pumpkin.
Yeah, and again, like as we look through these. And people when they go see you at Monsterpalooza or all the different places you go, the thing that's amazing to me is when you see these in person and like what Joey showed with like the lights out, you have to do a double take. Wait, it's not a photograph. Am I not looking at a photo? Like look at her hands and like the rock to her left, or I guess my right. It looks like a picture. I don't understand. I don't understand it, but I guess
I know
it's
like pumpkin carving is just this magical art form where we have like this solid object and we're just stabbing and removing material, like kind of like Michelangelo's David, and there's like trapped somewhere in there. It's just this amazing rack.
Yeah.
He's
so true.
It's always an amazing rack.
They're shaped the same way, even.
But no, it's
always
just
an
like
amazing rack somewhere in there. Yeah.
It's just a matter of like just removing the right amount of material until like we can trick our brains into seeing like kind of like in reverse 3D to like make like a 3D that's like coming off of it. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Trip.
Yeah. I mean, etching is subtractive in the same way that the subtractive sculpture, right? It's all the same.
Yeah.
Totally.
You're just better at it.
Yeah, you're just doing a little gloating. That's what I'm hearing you say.
He deserves it. He can do some gloating.
That one came out good. I like that one.
Yeah, and that's another timely one because that movie's coming out soon too.
It is. That was a fun. Like I think most of like my favorite pieces I've done have been like commissions because it's like people are like, hey, I see you do this, but can you do this? And it's like they challenge you to do things that like, I don't know, can I do that? And like you get to try things you wouldn't have tried out otherwise.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I saw. Wait, Paul, you said this movie is coming out. I guess I didn't. I feel like I'm backward. What a new Nosferatu?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. The kid. I think it's the kid
With
that plays,
Skarsgård, right?
plays Pennywise, right?
Yep.
Oh, well, no wonder. He's
Skarsgård?
perfect. He's perfect for that. Okay.
He was just
All
a
right.
crow, and now he's going to be.
He's just the new monster guy, no matter what.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
hi.
little
so
guy.
interesting.
We'll see him in the bar at Monsterpalooza in 20 years, and he'll be signing on a grab.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if I'll be there.
I was gonna say, I don't think I'll be around.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know, man. You know.
Yeah.
Maybe
We'll see Rick Baker.
We saw Pinhead, and we saw Jason
Kane.
there.
Kane
They've been
Hodder.
around for a while.
See, this is a personal favorite of mine. I do. Look how white those teeth look.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
see that's what I'm talking about when you're talking about like the scale of like. So if you think about illustration, you have like your absolute dark scale and your absolute white scale. So like absolute white would be cutting pretty much all the way into the pumpkin, almost all the way in. I think on this one I really didn't cut all the way in, but I came damn close.
Yeah.
But that's another problem with like trying to like figure out the balance of how this like etching works is that like when it comes to that scale, there's a leap between like you can go to absolute white and you can gradually get darker and darker and darker and darker, but there comes to a point like right about like medium to dark gray where it just leaps to solid black. So like if you're working with a picture that has just a tremendous amount of like really really dark shadows, that may not work well in etching because depending on like maybe it might work well on a real pumpkin, like if you don't haul it out very much because it's all the thickness of that wall diffusing the light to get out. But with a foam pumpkin, it's all fixed, and there might be air bubbles in there and other imperfections that are getting in the way of allowing you to get to those results and stuff.
Did you? Yeah, because if you looked at that one in the light, it would look like those teeth are carved way in. Is what I'm hearing you say.
Exactly.
Like dug in.
Right.
And it's like a mind screw because mind F because you're. Because if you looked at it like that,
this is a family program.
Was
well, I guess
a bunch of times, right? Let me drink more. Oh,
just in case my great grandkids ever watch this, I don't want to get them scared.
For posterity.
For posterity. It's for the next 10 generations. We don't want them getting scared by bad words. No, I love it. I do too, Paul. I'm pleased to say that one of my middle daughter. Her all-time favorite movie is American Werewolf in London. Had her 16th birthday at a theater. We rented it out and watched that movie with all our friends. It was like all their first time seeing it. She just was sitting there giddy like this. You know,
that is outstanding. I did not know that.
I go, that is my girl right there, watching that movie. Yeah, with all of her friends.
That's amazing.
So cool. Hey,
Oh,
there he is.
Timely one here. That looks like an angry ghoul to me. Well,
yeah, he's a little shriveled.
That is the number one. I'd say homemade costume this year. That's what that's going to be.
I hope so.
Oh, good point.
Dingy Dave.
I prefer to look at that than like some of the other ones that are really.
Yeah,
awesome.
seriously, the store-bought ones. So, Joey, do you remember Dingy Dave from Monsterpalooza?
Dingy Dave
Makes custom figurines and cool cast toys and stuff. He's making one right now, and if you follow him on Instagram, it's really good.
Oh, that's great.
It makes me want to make one if I had.
He makes cool ass vinyl stuff that like, I don't know how he thinks of it. Like, how do you think to do that? Like, really cool stuff. Like they'll even use like the black lighting so you can't see it until you put a black light on, and then there's a skull in there that looks like. Remember that one?
I love messing with the black light stuff. That's all the wire work I do. but that's great.
That's right. I want to touch
Oh,
on the
that's right.
wire work too.
That's right.
Is that I don't think you give that enough credit. I mean,
I do too.
I did say you were a sculptor because
Yeah.
I mean, I consider what you do fine art. I don't really consider it sculpting because it's so friggin' insanely hard. But the wire work is sculpture at its fine art sculpting. Like, you're just a fine artist. You should wear a suit when you do this.
Thank you.
I feel like
Yeah, I need a bow tie.
look at this. And here's his wire work and the black
Oh
light.
yeah. Yeah, that's so that the mount on that piece is comprised of like it started off as an IKEA mirror, replaced the mirror with a wooden board, then got a whole bunch of broken pieces of like a fish tank, like with coral and things like that, and then kind of glued them all around the edge of the mirror, and then did several then several paint coats through it, and embedded glow-in-the-dark pigment into all the coral, and then did several epoxy pours over the top of that, and then the octopus is that glow-in-the-dark green coat. And so then, like, I don't know, I just do it so like when people buy my art and they don't know it's glow-in-the-dark, when they get it home and like they have a friend over sleeping on a couch and like maybe they drink a little too much, they're like, what am I doing with my life?
Did you ever think of it in the other way? Like maybe a wife buys it for her husband and he's a huge fan of yours and she's trying to hide it. But then the first night she gets it home and puts it in the closet and shuts the light, the friggin' thing glows and ruins the surprise. You ever think of it that way?
Now I do. Now I gotta use brighter paint.
Yeah.
Just don't tell him. Just don't tell her you're doing that. I love your stuff because when you go to his booth, anytime you're in many of the shows you go to, you've got a section for your wire and then you got a section for your pumpkins. And I think what I've found is people like you get two different sets of people like enamored two different ways. To me, it's like you're it's all additive here and it's all subtractive there. So it's like your brain is like you got you're ambidextrous.
It's challenging though because I've been like when I started like selling my art like professionally, it was doing it at like tattoo expos. Like I started at the Evergreen Tattoo Invitational in Eugene. And that was like the only thing I knew about I can get a booth and I can sell artwork. Cool. I should, and I just kind of came up with the idea for cryptodermia, which is this wire style work, and that worked well. People really respond to it well. The work that I did produced enough sales to pay for the next booth and kind of can continue to pay it forward over and over again. And then I got more and more serious about pumpkin carving and trying to figure out how to vend pumpkins, which is such a challenge because it's art for the dark. It's artwork that literally you can't tell the true value of it unless you have it in a dark room. But all expo environments are super bright. So I've been experimenting and trying to figure out, and like there's other people out there doing their own thing with it, and I just kind of keep changing it, and I think I got it to a point where it's really starting to work. But at the same time, I'm dragging 2 shows with me every show I go to, and so it's so much. And so sometimes I think I should like just do one show here and one show there. Like going to Midsummer Scream this year was a real I don't know, knuckle I don't know how to say this. It was nerve-wracking because I didn't bring the wire. I only brought the pumpkins, and they did great. And I had a real tiny booth. I had like a 6x6 table, but I was able to make this like really elaborate setup in broad light, and all the pumpkins came out well, and people responded well to it, and I definitely made my money back on the adventure there.
There you go. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
Don't walk away sad and broke, you know?
Exactly. That's for Monster Palooza.
Yeah.
It's mostly, that's the bar tab though.
That's right, yeah. That's when you lose credit card roulette.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Did we play that
piece? Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, no, we can't play that. That's like trying to play Mega Millions on some of those bar tabs.
Yeah, no shit. And we go to on a number of occasions now, being there a number of years, we'll go to the bar, and you'll get the people who want to stick around longer. And I was one of the bastards who went home early last time, but these guys stayed out for another. I can only imagine what you you racked up at the end of that like second night.
No,
Third
we all started drinking water and
Oh,
talking
okay.
about dieting.
Oh, okay. That's free. It's free at that point.
Yeah, no way. It wasn't fun without you, so we didn't drink.
We just went out and got Mexican food and met like really cool people.
Shirley Temple. Yeah. I love this one. This is like, I mean, like, it's all hand. I've seen you kind of mess with it with your hands, like in kind of get it in your head. Do you start with like a form? Again, I know you'd like to use references. Do you use references and something like this?
Sometimes I will like bring up a whole bunch of different pictures of skulls for reference. But honestly, with cryptodermia, like this wire style stuff, it's the most liberating art that I do because no one else does it. It's like this weird, unique thing that I do that like I haven't seen anyone else replicate like in the way that I'm doing it. And so like I don't have something to reference to create it, and I don't have exactly like other people to kind of bounce ideas off. There's other artists that do similar things like with skulls, but like no one's doing wire sculpture like that. But it's, I don't know, it's kind of fun because like I can make up my own unique cryptids and like make skull work out of them and then like have them as like a taxidermy mount that you can hang on your wall.
A great example of that here. We've got a massive, this would be a fun, anybody's wall would be. Oh my gosh, how many examples.
Yeah, that was way back from 2017 too. That was just at a tiny little pop-up show here in Oregon called Market Obscura. Well, unfortunately, the show went away with the pandemic, but other pop-up shows have come up to take its place as like more and more things like that have like come back to Portland. But yeah, I only had like a little 6-foot space, and I got this big sandwich wall that I roll up and put little work spotlights from below on it.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. Oh, look, there you are with one at an art gallery.
Yeah, that was so in Eugene there is the mayor's art show, and so like every year they have this big call for artists to submit to the mayor's art show, and if you don't get in, you get accepted automatically into this loser art show. That's really awesome, where all the better artwork is at. That's like less fine arty, and so that was my piece. I got into it. I forget what they call it.
Is it the loser?
The best of the rest or something like that. I forget that.
This is the one you made it for the loser one, though. What you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
and that's the super fun art show.
I love it. Oh, excuse me. All right. I'm getting AIDS or cryptid or okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So when you describe like trying to get it set up in a very bright environment, this is a great example of you being able to show them like in the dark.
He does have such a good booth.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's my most recent booth. That's from this last weekend. I'll be kind of replicating a similar style of this, not next week, this weekend, but the 26th, 27th. I think that's the last weekend of the month, in Sacramento at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. But yeah, this is like the evolution of like several years of just like effing with it until it looks right. Like figuring out a different way to display the pumpkins in a bright environment that like shows their detail, and also figuring out a way to like market my pumpkins in more than just pumpkins. Like I've started making stickers of all of my carvings and stuff like that, because I go out of my way to like document everything that I do. So I have like a portfolio website, Edwards Art and Design, and I just update it all the time with like just to make sure that I'm capturing, because like a pumpkin, like you have it once, if you don't take a picture of it, it's going to rot, it's going to go away. Yeah. With these, if I lose them, if I sell them, like I'll never see them again. But if I can get good pictures of them, like I don't know, like normal artists that paint, they can have residual income by having print sales and things like that. And so why can't pumpkin artists do that? And so that's why I have started like documenting everything thoroughly and trying to make stickers and stuff. And the stickers have been doing really well. Like I'm even messing around. I carved this like Nicolas Cage to go along with the Pedro meme. And I only carve Nicolas Cage so that I can make these really stupid earrings. So like on one ear it's Pedro, and on the other ear it's Nicolas Cage.
I have the Pedro sticker actually.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's so cool.
So have you thought about getting a 3D scanner?
I've thought about it, but like I don't know, I just
It would work. It would work perfectly.
Yeah.
Because if you were to, I mean, obviously not on the same scale. I guess you could print on the same scale if you got a big enough printer, but you could print small versions of some of your sculpts because you could print it so thin. And I think it would work perfect.
Well, for me,
because it would catch the details so easily because it's like LiDAR. It catches the depth.
Right.
Whereas I get screwed a bunch of times on some of the smaller stuff because it can't catch some of the details are so much in the shadow, like underneath a nose or like a deep wrinkle or something, or fold where it can't read how deep it is.
Yeah.
But where yours is all surface and it's bouncing right back, I'll bet you'd get great results.
But if you think about it, like the entire art theory of like how this artwork works, it's light diffusion. So you're talking about the light getting from the inside of the pumpkin to the outside. So in that sense, the wall on the inside of the pumpkin, exactly where I carved into it, is just as important to getting that detail out as the outside of the pumpkin your LiDAR scanning. So you'd have to be able to reproduce the pumpkin on the inside and the outside. But I don't know.
You're just a ball of joy when I try to give you.
Hey, I appreciate it. I know what you're saying. I'm working on it. There's someone who I met at Monster Palooza who we were doing a little tradesies where I made them a cool Crypt Creeper pumpkin, and they were gonna make me a way to figure that process out. And I have fortunately not heard anything back from them.
Well,
so I don't know what's happening.
I got a dumb thought because like Rick Baker did these amazing. He basically did 3D prints of the negative of his sculptures, so then became the cast, the mold. So why can't you do that 3D print of that and make that be your cast effectively? So then you can mold. You can mold those, and you can make 50 copies of them.
I think that's
exactly the same way.
I think that's probably the right solution there. I just haven't got my hands on that technology.
Call Rick.
Get there.
Yeah, just tell Matt to call.
Yeah. Rick, if you're watching this, hi, I'm Joey. Look, I can't bring much to the table. I got ghosts. I got blood. Occasionally, I can bring like I don't know. I got spooky bullshit. That's what I got. I can help you. You can help me. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We got so much in common.
At the very least, we could hang out and just stab it till it looks right,
Yeah, that's all. Talk it up.
Come on.
You got so many damn examples. So I would entertain. That's not the right word. I guess
new season coming out soon.
There is. I'm almost caught up. We've been the missus and I have been binging it. We're only 2 episodes behind, being finally totally caught up.
How is Adrian? She all right?
She's doing great. She's doing wonderful. She's a full-on naturopathic doctor now. She's got her own successful podcast, the Sassy Speculum.
She has a podcast?
Yeah, the Sassy Speculum. Check it out.
Nice.
It does a wonderful job of just talking about women's health and all kinds of medical things that other people aren't talking about, like POTS. And I don't know. It's she's just a gem.
Paul and I love hanging out with you, but she's really kind of why we end up.
She's the.
So
look, I'm just the eye candy, you know, and she's
yeah, who you are.
The trophy.
She's great to look at too. Don't get me wrong.
You're the trophy husband who just kind of.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, you just carve your pumpkins, dear. I'm gonna go save lives.
Let me be over here. Yeah, saving lives. Yeah, and he married a doctor. Can you believe it? I love it. Oh man. Let's do it. I'm bad at this stuff, but let's do a little time check. Holy crap, we are going nuts here. Let me do this real quick because we have to do it before we end the show. And I want to see what everyone's doing. Like maybe let's do a little close up on Mr. Edwards' hack job. Oh wow, holy crap.
Look at this guy. He really
No.
did it.
Get that light back
He
on. That was
did it.
I want to see some shadows. There we go. Oh, look at that. Holy crap.
I'm trying to get like a little.
Look at the.
I got this
Look at
little
the eyelid.
I got this little eyelid in there. Got a little pinchy cheek.
Yeah.
I was thinking about Matt when I made that one. So
Thank you.
Oh, look at
Try to
that,
get
man.
that
He's already inspired by you.
Yeah, you know,
every week.
I think he sees my face and he sees that. I'm with you.
You are art. He just made of art.
I am just the walking.
This is so beautiful.
Lumpy face art guy.
That's why I chose this pumpkin.
You know what's remarkable is like I can see the face in that, and you were just hacking at it with a hammer 5 minutes ago. So this is really good.
Yeah,
I know.
Like I mean, with these pumpkins, you just stab them.
And he's using like lino tools. Oh,
I know.
Just using chisels and
he is
all kinds of stuff.
There we go. Oh,
impressive.
I haven't even got the lino cutter out. Got a whole bucket of random stuff here.
Paul, let's see what you got there. You got a good little start. Holy crap.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that forehead in there. Jeez. A nose.
Damn it.
You got them crone noses down.
Yeah.
What is it called? A chrome nose?
Like I don't know. Isn't that like the old witch kind of nose?
Yeah, well, it doesn't. I mean, it's still got a long way to go. It's got no profile yet. It's all gonna change. I gotta bring it all back in. But
like the amount,
it's the one thing I'm happy about with pumpkins is they're so much thicker. You can really dig in and kind of take a lot of material, whereas some of the smaller squashes that we get can be a pain. Well, I'm happy with this pumpkin.
Part of the butternut, right?
What's that, buddy?
Unless it's the top part of a butternut, which you got a mile, but
yeah, that's different. But these are soft, you know what I mean? Like it was just a flip of the wrist to like remove material, whereas on some of the butternuts, the tool gets stuck halfway and you gotta wrench it out. Really which I mean, it's all good. So I'll work on them. I'll get them done. I gotta have them ready. Yeah. Let me see.
Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead.
No. I was gonna lead into it.
Mine is so one color. I have to kind of get a light here just to get an idea of what we're doing. But
that looks good.
It's starting to get angry, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to get light on it, but without it, it just looks like a washed out dirt heap. So anyway, I'm trying to make him angry, but then I make him into a ghoul somehow. So
I mean, washed out dirt heap is the kind of like the ghoul aesthetic. So I think you're doing.
There we go. He's exactly. He'll get there. I've been kind of enamored by Joey's stuff, so I'm not carving as much as I should be, but as luck would have it.
We gave a tribute to Ray too with he's the second guy I've seen carve with a hammer, so you're in good company.
Exactly. Yeah, I think
put us out in the race for the premier hammer carver.
This thing and like hammer just did not cut it for these lumpy.
No, the rasp is great. You gotta have a rasp.
Yeah, but not on that thing. That thing's like a hard shell on the outside. It's really hard. But once you get into it, it's really great. The material inside is really great. I mean, being a pumpkin snob and all.
Pumpkin snob.
I gotta say, you've been doing this for what? We're on season 5 or season 6 now.
Season 5.
Season 5. Like, you both have just gotten so good. Like your skill is just tremendously episode after episode. You just keep knocking out these bangers, just becoming some of the best carvers I've ever seen. So thank you for just doing what you do, because it's inspiring.
Thank you, buddy.
You're making Paul cry again.
Thank you. That was the nicest thing I've ever heard. Well, you inspire us, man. Like honestly, you inspire me so much. I'm never ever gonna try this style. Because
you got to try the style.
It's unobtainable for me.
No. You aced it.
I like saying I know the guy. I don't want to be the guy.
Look, if I can hit this with a hammer, you can like gently shave the edge of put a light inside a pumpkin and gently shave into it.
I could shave right through it.
Exactly. That's how you get the bright light.
You butter us up. I'm going to butter you up, Joey. You're like there is nobody I've ever met. With minor exceptions, like maybe Paul and Chris. Chris and Mark from. Sorry, I drank a lot tonight. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
But like those guys can etch. And we met a few people, even like there's a handful of people that can do
Frazzle
what you
Stash
do.
is awesome.
Frazzle Stash is
That's right.
ridiculous. But I look
Yeah.
at the stuff you do day in and day out, and I'm like, I'm mind boggled every time. So we're anyway, different kind of same pumpkin,
Yeah.
different art. We're just
You need to get
enamored
Andre
by it
in
all
here.
the time.
Andres Borshini. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's just my I love him so much. His work is fucking phenomenal. I don't know if he carves real pumpkin sculpt, but he is a foam pumpkin carver. Scooby Dooby Drew. His work is just it's just so good. He's like
Yes,
my
he is
pumpkin
amazing.
goals. But
All right, write
what
that one
is
down,
amazing
Paul.
about his
Let's get on
work
the show.
is that like it's just like it just proves the fact that like pumpkin carving is a completely legitimate art form, whether it's on foam, whether it's on real pumpkins or whatever. And like there's no one way to paint. Like there's thousands and thousands and billions of painters out there, and there's so many of them that are so amazingly talented. But like with pumpkin carving, there's no one right way to do it. You can have all kinds of different ways to do it, and you can have like his style is distinct from my style, it's distinct from Frazzle Sash's style. There are different people out there pushing this medium forward in so many different directions, and it's important to like appreciate what's out there, because I think the trouble with pumpkin carving, and maybe this is me just being like a pessimist, but like it's that like you get so good at something to an extent where like you're you're too niche for the holiday, but you're too holiday for the niche. I don't know how to say it, but like to break out of like, oh yeah, it's Halloween. Like I don't know. I've had people come to my porches on Halloween and be like, "That's store bought."
Oh yeah, that's a lot better.
Stuff like that. That's how I made it. I spent hours on that.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
Get off my porch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you about that guy that kicked in my pumpkin at one time, right?
Get out of here.
Well,
now
Joey, we want to make sure that we plug,
yeah,
because you can actually go and purchase some of your amazing artwork, and you're going to be at the Oddities and Curiosities Expo coming up in Sacramento.
Yeah,
so.
if you want to come see my work in person, Oddities and Curiosities, the 26th and 27th this month at the Cal Expo, I believe it is. But yeah, Oddities and Curiosities is just an amazing show, and it tours all over America, and it's also in Canada, and it's in Australia now too. But they hit everywhere, and it's a very inexpensive show to get into, but it is one of the very few expos that exists anywhere at all that specialize not just in Oddities and Curiosities, but non-Timo, like buying stuff at bulk and then selling it like just like collectibles and things like that. This is all handmade, super weird stuff that has a lot of love, a lot of creepiness into it. And they take pride in like vetting their vendors and having just a really great show. So you're going to go there at any show across America, and you're going to have a good time, and you're going to find some weird stuff, and you might feel a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. You got to push yourself. But check it out. And like if you make art, like try to get in there. Like I think more and more artists are like picking up on the fact that it's like, whoa, this is fucking cool. This is a good show. Like who is Dave Correa? I'm not sure I'm saying his name correctly.
Say North Korea?
No, there was I don't know. Never mind. There was a very famous artist that was like right next to my booth this year, and I'm terrible with names, and I can't think of their name. But they now are doing the Oddities show, and it's neat to see them doing it. But yeah, like if you go out of your way, get a chance to go visit the Oddities and Curiosity Expo if it comes to your town or anywhere near your town, it's worthwhile.
Wow, they got a huge list. It looks like a concert T-shirt. Of
yeah, and they get bigger and bigger every single year, and they'll announce their 2025 dates on Halloween. So look for that.
Okay,
no kidding. Yeah, there was no Boston on that list.
It's a show that I wish I could do more of, but unfortunately, like everything that I make is like handmade, like between the cryptodermia and like pumpkin carving and stuff like that. Like now I'm starting to get like a little bit more kind of residual stuff through like the stickers and stuff like that. But like when they tour, they kind of go all over, but like they've started adding more and more shows in my neck of the woods in the Pacific Northwest. And so like I can do Portland, I can do Seattle, and now I'm doing Sacramento because that's within like a reasonable driving distance. But yeah, it's a great show, and it's a very affordable to get into compared to like most of these other shows that I've tried to get into and I've done. Like I was like for the price of a small booth at Monster Palooza, I can get a 10 by 20 foot booth at Oddities, and it's great because then you have breathing room to create an experience that people can walk into.
Right. They don't feel crushed when they walk in if there's anybody else in there.
Right.
Well, you should get a free booth anyway for that plug. That was.
I was going to say, they pay you to say
They are amazing. It's my favorite, one of my favorite shows I've ever done. That and Crypticon. Crypticon. You guys got to come up and hang out with me at Crypticon sometime. I think you guys would really like it. Think of like a lower budget Monster Palooza that like focuses more on like the vendors and stuff. It's so much fun. It's up in Seattle, the DoubleTree Inn in at the Hilton there next to SeaTac, but it's all weekend long.
SeaTac? Somebody that's never been to Seattle. I don't know. Turn around the corner. Why don't you say so?
I think of all the shows I've done, Crypticon is like the most fun though I've had vending, because it's like you vend, you pay for no, I mean, well, as far as if you think about Oddities, you go there, you vend, you sell your stuff, and then you leave. But like with Crypticon, it's an experience. Like all weekend long is everyone's there for like this horror convention, and then but it's all kind of geared around like the vendors as well, and they take great pride in like treating their vendors really, really well. So as being a vendor at like Crypticon, like if you pay for your booth to get in there, like you're invited to everything. You're not behind any paywall to do anything. So in the shows run after hours, like kind of like Monster Palooza throws like the big party that you like you can just go to all the parties that are part of Crypticon, like as being a vendor. Like you got the pass, you're good to go on anything that they have to offer. All of the screenings, all of the press rooms, all of the tables where they do the talks about movies and stuff like that. If you can get away from your booth, you're welcome to go do it. And their show hours are super reasonable too.
That was the one thing I was going to call you on, is like, when the hell do you get a chance to leave your booth?
Oh yeah, well, like I think their vendor hours are like the first day. It's like a Friday through Sunday show, so the first day opens at like 5 and runs till I think like 8, and then the other days run from like 11 to like 5. And so it's very reasonable hours. You're not like just pulling like 8 to 10 hours to vend all day. And then you can go out to dinner, and then you can come back and you go to the after parties and stuff. Like they rent out the entire 13th floor, and they turn all of the VIP suites into like themed bars.
Nice.
It's so fun. It's so weird. But and like I kept running into the nun like there. With the last show, it was so much fun. Like that lady that plays the nun, I forget.
French lady.
Yeah. She's so nice. She stopped at my booth, and like every restaurant we went at, she just happened to be also there, like talking with people at the bar.
She's stalking you, Joey.
It's like the low key, like hyper obsessed over your actors you like show.
Well, Joey, I've put up a couple of places that everybody can find you. I know you have Joey Edwards as well on Instagram, but I put up your Edwards Pumpkins because I know you were switching gears. So I wanted to throw that one up there. Your LinkedIn is on there, and all the other places that you can be found.
Cool.
We have your website up there, and also your Twitch, because you are like the hot guy on Twitch.
I am on Twitch.
It's all over it.
Hey,
he's got spooky shit for everybody.
I do. I got blood. I got ghosts. Do what you
Look
want.
at the blood.
Have you tried MySpace? I heard that's coming back.
MySpace is that's the where it's at.
I need to get more like glitter gifts to be back on MySpace. So figure it out. I'm working on it.
Work on that. Yeah. So you have a million places to find Joey, and this is where you can find us at every possible thing. In fact, I think interestingly, Paul, the last couple of times we've been told we haven't been on Facebook. We got to figure that shit out. So we got to get back on that.
One of us does.
Some glitch.
I don't know how to figure it out.
Between you and me, and actually just me, I'll figure it out. How's that?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But everything else you can find us on. We're on all the other things. That's for sure.
But more importantly, it is carving season, and if anybody wants to come out in the New England area, I will be at the Topsfield Fair Saturday, Sunday, and Monday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. carving my little heart out. We'll be doing some fun carving and demonstrations. It's going to be great. The weather's supposed to be really good.
Nice.
And I know you're busy too, Matt. You got anything going on this week?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple events coming up. One of them, if you're in the Tucson, Arizona area, come to the come to the Tucson Racket and Fitness Club, and we're having a massive what do they call it? Carving and cocktails.
Carving and cocktails.
That's it. Because
Carving
apparently we have a Halloween drink every now and then with it. So we're doing that kind of thing. But then I got other ones coming up. But I'm more excited about being here next week and the following week and every week with Carvers and Creators, because that's kind of where I get that's my happy place, and just being here with you guys and being able to meet people and hang out with people like Joey, and that's everything else is seasonal, but I'm just happy to be hanging out with all of you every week.
Here. I agree.
Yeah.
I concur.
Salute.
Yeah. So Joey, it was great having you back, man. It's always a pleasure, and
Hey, thanks for having me back.
I hope
Pleasure's all mine.
I hope that the was it Curiosities and Oddities? Is that
Oddities and Curiosities Expo.
Well, hey man, I say shit backwards.
Hey, that's okay.
He's just
doing
like
great.
But I hope that show goes well for you. I know it will.
Thank you.
Everybody out there watching, if you're not following Joe, you should be following Joe. His artwork is amazing.
Yeah, check it out.
Yep. And on that note, that's another episode of Carvers and Creators. We will be back again.
We did the thing.
Another exciting guest and another exciting spin of the wheel and all kinds of stuff. And Joey, when that thing is done, you better post
21
it.
days.
I can't wait
some
to
odd days
see
till
it
Halloween.
done.
It's coming up.
It's going on awesome.
Halloween countdown. Yeah, we want to see that. We want to see what you finish with this, Joey. You got to post it.
Yeah, I will. I will keep stabbing away tonight, and I will. I'll share that with you for sure.
Good. So good. He's just so talented. Unbelievable. Well, on behalf of us, to you, good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
See you, Joey.
See ya. Bye. Bye.